Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Lucifer Season 5, Episode 1 reaction. Season 5 is here. It is on Netflix. We have a chance to actually see what we have been waiting for more than a year for. But for Lucifer, apparently, it's been thousands of years. Or is that Michael who said that at the end of the episode to Chloe?
Oh no! Who is it?
Insert dramatic music. The trailer already gave the big twist away.
Yeah, they did.
Well, but we'll still talk through everything we saw in the premiere, what we liked, what we enjoyed about it, where things could be going. Obviously, a lot of you are probably going to keep binging throughout, but, you know, we want to talk at least about this first episode and how things set up. Before we get into it, though, if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you do want to support us further, check out our store. The link is in the description below, and also our Patreon. I believe we have some devilishly good stuff over there.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know. This is close to Lucifer
awesome.
Morning Star as I'm ever gonna be, but we have live chats there at the end of every month.
So overall, with the premiere,
Yeah.
I'm very happy. It was worth the wait. I mean, there was a lot of sort of cool things that were going on, seeing Chloe and Maze working together. I loved that. You know, of course, it sucked to not see Chloe and Lucifer together and working together, but I really like the idea that he was in hell, but he's still working cases. Like, that all was really cool. There was a lot of stuff I really liked.
I think what I actually liked the most about this episode was the acting, because I always love it when they give Tom Ellis like a big sort of scenery chewing moment, and I feel like he got that, where he gets to that realization at the end of this episode that while he's creating this guy's own version of hell, he's really just creating his own hell loop because he's reminding himself constantly of what he misses on Earth. I love Leslie Ann Brandt throughout the entire episode as Maze, and she's just so great. It's one of the few times that she's destroying that piano.
Oh man, that was such a cool sequence. She was really, that was the scene stealer of it. That was so cool. She was really good.
If you guys see the channel regularly, you know that one of my personal pet peeves is I hate the scenes of people destroying their own property because it never feels realistic.
Oh, it was so good.
I bought totally into Maze doing this. Like, I actually do understand it when it's Maze.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I mean, seeing, I was worried a little bit that I was going to just be missing that back and forth between Chloe and Lucifer and working on the cases so much that it just was going to be hard for me to get into anybody else kind of working with her. But Maze was perfect for this. I mean, she's just so unpredictable, which I love. But at the same time, they were like, they're both dealing with the loss of Lucifer, so they really are sort of in sync with each other, even though they're both in denial about what they're dealing with. It worked so well. And then you add on top of it this idea that even though Lucifer's and Allie's still sending up messages to her, so they're still kind of working together. They did a really good job balancing that out.
And so much of this episode felt like, in general, it was about how is each individual character dealing with a sort of loss. And I like that every single person kind of handled it differently, where Chloe, it is about the concept of just work and getting the job done at every turn. And I think with Maze, it is she created this idea of companionship, that she didn't need anybody, and so she just wanted to sort of just jump between all these various things. And then at the point where she kisses Chloe, it's pretty clear that, okay, she's just trying to find a way so that she doesn't feel anything else. And then Lucifer is just, I want to torture people so much because I'm being tortured.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with Chloe throwing herself into the work, there's so many of us that have done that, where we have a loss and we're just like, okay, we're just going to focus in on work. So it was really relatable.
This is not, there is a big issue I do have with this premiere. We'll get to it. This isn't just a total love fest, but I got to keep talking about things I love. I love Amenadiel I don't know what we should call him. Like, if he is like Batman for like low-level drug deals now.
Amenadiel's my favorite character on this show.
I love him so much.
I really liked what they gave him. At first, seeing him running Lex, I was like, what is happening here? But that was a really good storyline for him. And that it tied into him being a dad and having insecurities. That was the part that I liked about how it folded in with Dan, because outside of that and sort of like talking to Linda about, you know, folding in motherhood, don't miss stuff like that. The whole thing that was going on with Dan and his like self-discovery, I could have done without that. Dan needs something.
Yeah, that was a little bit too just like out there in the wind, and I think even the Ella story was a little bit abstract, where she needs to kind of be with someone, and the scene with her at the end, she just looks so sad in a lot of it, and like she just didn't really know what she wanted, and I think they could have done more with those two characters, but I almost wish that we had gotten the scene of Amenadiel seeing, what was it, like the 3-year-old who was like jaywalking and he wanted to like bust the 3-year-old. Like, that is just so funny, and we didn't even see he and Linda together that much in it, but I feel like the two of them in a scene together with this kid who Linda apparently thinks is already like going to change the world and cure cancer and like solve all these problems, and him trying to save the world from like low-level 3-year-old criminals. It's just a great dynamic duo.
Yeah, all of that was really good, and I do enjoy it. And I like the stuff with Linda where, you know, yeah, she knows that her son is special. We all get it. But that it was funny to watch everybody else be like, yeah, your kid's the extra special one. Where's Boron? That was just killed me, because it's the same. It is that thing where it's like, oh, my kid used a fork today. It's like, okay, well, they need to know how to use the fork. Like, everyone learns to use the fork sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like trying to get your kid to say some like really, really impressive word as like their first word, and they end up saying something like, I don't know, mama, and then you try to like shift it in your head. It's like, oh, I know what you're really trying to say.
You're really trying to say boron.
Boron is the kid's first word. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, so I'll say the thing that troubles me about this episode, and this is more of a bigger critique on the season. I don't know where it's going yet. We haven't seen anything beyond episode 1, but I'm still really concerned about this Michael twist, because I just don't like the idea of Chloe kissing this guy and thinking that it's Lucifer, and it's probably going to turn out to not be Lucifer because we still saw him in hell. I know this is a show about the devil, but it still makes me just feel kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I mean, at the very least, I was glad that Chloe picked up that something was off. She doesn't know exactly what it is, but her being a detective, 1, her having this long relationship with Lucifer, 2, she should have picked up that something was off. So I'm really glad that at least that happened. But yes, it is very uncomfortable watching her be manipulated into doing something that's intimate, even a kiss, where she thinks she's kissing somebody that she's not. And we have seen in the trailer that it looks like she's going to be with either Michael or Lucifer later on in an even more sort of romantic way. And we talked a little bit about this in the trailer before we watched this episode, that we're, of course, hoping that it's not Michael, because then we're getting into some very dark material. Yeah. And this show, for being about the devil, really isn't that dark, where she's going to be in some sort of situation where she's being assaulted.
I really am trying to hold out hope here that this Michael twist isn't exactly what a lot of us sort of think that it is, where he is a part of this, and we obviously had what we had in the premiere, but Chloe is smart, and I think everyone around Lucifer is also smart. Maze has known Lucifer forever, Amenadiel as well, so I kind of want to hope that Michael may be a big part of these 8 episodes, but that they'll sort of figure out that this isn't Lucifer pretty early on, and then it will become, how do we get our devil, the devil we all love, back from hell?
I would be really surprised and really disappointed, actually, if Amenadiel and Maze didn't figure it out pretty quick. Because they know him so well that they should be able to pick up on it fast. My hope is that for whatever reason, if they decide not to tell Chloe that this is someone different, that they can at least stop him from doing something more to Chloe during this. That if he wants to come there and cause problems, he can cause problems, but not with Chloe. Of course, the problem is we know that he's there to hurt Lucifer, so Chloe's going to be a target.
And the big mystery, of course, is how long do they keep Lucifer now in hell? Because I don't know how many more times we can see a story for Lucifer like what we had in this episode, where he's just sort of going through a case and sort of helping them in his own way while also torturing himself.
Yeah, and especially since it ended with him still in hell saying, yeah, I don't feel like I need to go back there and help the detective because she doesn't need my help. She can do this on her own. I believe in her. I've seen her do this. I don't have to go back to help her. She's got this.
The thing is, though, Lucifer, is that I think he's right. She doesn't necessarily need his help, but maybe she wants his help. Maybe there's a way to figure... I still want to believe that Amenadiel... Can't he just go to dear old dad and be like, listen, we need Lucifer up here. Michael's causing some problems. Can we work out a deal? I'll stop trying to get 3-year-olds in trouble with the law. Like, whatever you need.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting sort of shifts of power, I think, throughout this season. But the things that I'm really hoping to see is more story for Dan and Ella.
For sure. They're a big part of this show. We need that. I love Dan just being a jerk at times, and I need more of that. But we're early in the season. We still have a lot more to go.
Yeah, overall, happy with the premiere. There's a lot that's there. Of course, that last scene with Michael kind of having that smile filled me with dread. I'm ready to get into the next episode. Thank goodness it's on Netflix and I can just binge all this.
I'm so happy the show is back in the end. Like, that's the biggest thing. We've missed it. We love it. But let's hear from you guys. What did you think about Lucifer Season 5, Episode 1? What were your favorite moments? What excites you? What concerns you? Let us know in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed this discussion, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further. Check those links to the store, to our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.